Welcome back to the Big Idea to Bestseller podcast. Now, if this is your first time here, you saw us on iTunes, you clicked the button, you're like, let me check this out. Welcome. I got a good one for you today. And if you are a regular, gosh, do I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in and always getting your information from us and hanging out with us here at the Big Idea to Bestseller podcast. So what we're going to talk about today is we got to break down 3 reasons why every coach should have a book. 3 reasons why a book needs to be a priority if you are in the online coaching business. Now, I think something that we can all agree on when it comes to business is this simple truth. One of the best ways to get business is through referrals. Referrals are awesome because they are warm traffic, they are coming from a trusted source, and referrals can be really, really amazing. But let's break down what typically happens in our route to getting referrals. Well, one route is we go to an event, we go to a networking meetup, we go to a conference with the intention that our goal is we're going to meet somebody that can then refer us business, and we're going to create these massive partnerships. And in theory, this is a great concept, but here's what happens. You go to these meetups, you go to these conferences, you exchange information, you get a business card, you think that you're going to respond and follow up. Well, the majority of people don't follow up right after. And if you don't follow up right after, the chances go down dramatically. So a week goes by, nothing. A month goes by, nothing. A quarter goes by, nothing. All of a sudden, it's time for spring cleaning, and now all that business card is in the trash, or that person is long forgotten. Therefore, no referrals. And you are forgotten. You are forgotten, they are forgotten, and the cycle continues. And we say, well, why am I not getting more referrals? I go to these events. Why isn't it working? Or maybe the other route that you take isn't the live event route or the networking route or the in-person meetups, but maybe you take the paid traffic route and you're like, you know what? I'm going to grow my business through paid traffic. So you spend 23.67 hours building a funnel, building a lead magnet, building your automated email responder. You turn on the ads. You say, I'm going to spend a couple $1,000s and we're just going to blow this thing up. Well, what happens is you get some leads and nothing happens. Now, while I love paid traffic and I think it can be a really great source for coaches, I think for most people ads don't work, especially in the beginning. And the reason I believe this is that if you don't have enough volume, if you don't have the right audience, if you don't have the right creative, but if you don't have the right volume, what's going to happen is you're not going to get enough people signing up. And what also happens is when you get people to sign up for your lead magnet, your freebie, very few people actually end up opening that freebie or that lead magnet. So unless you have massive volume, the numbers often don't play out for people really just beginning in ads or just beginning their business. So let me even ask you this. Have you ever been someone who sees an ad, gets the freebie only to never look at it? Right? Exactly. So let's recap here. Your business card gets thrown in the trash. Your lead magnet never gets opened. But here's why we need a book. People never throw away a book. People always keep a book. And what we're going to do in this episode is I'm going to take you down this avenue of why a book needs to be a priority. First of all, just from what we've just shared, we can already tell that a book is so important and so different than all these other things. And here's the truth. When you have a book, you can leverage that at these networking events because no one's going to throw it away. They're going to keep it on their desk. You can use your book for paid traffic. You can use pieces of your book for paid traffic. And we're going to talk about this. The first reason why a book needs to be a priority for a coach is because it immediately builds trust with your audience. So if we want to get referrals, if we want to be seen as the experts, we need to have a book and we need to build trust with our audience. Now, here's how a book actually does build trust with your audience and why this can lead to higher conversions. So what is a book at its core? A book, if you're using it to grow your business, is often somebody, aka you, extracting all of your knowledge, investing the time to compile it in a way that is easily digestible, and you are then solving a problem for somebody else. So a person that receives a book gets the best information from a perceived expert. They get it broken down in an easy to digest way of understanding it, and they get their problem solved. Are you kidding me? That's how we build great trust with us. It's literally a shortcut into their brain and having access to the author's style, their story, their experience, their knowledge, and it leads you to this one simple truth. Do you or do you not trust them to solve your problem? And most of the time from a book, you're able to solve a piece of that problem right off the bat. Now, I don't know about you, but I would invest $10, $15, $20 in a book if I could get one idea that could help me make $1,000, $100,000, $1 million. All right, so right off the bat is a book builds trust with your audience, and this is why a book needs to be a priority. It stays on the shelf. It gets people seen. And look, whenever I read a book, I'll give you an example in my life. There have been books that I've read, and I'm reading a book right now. And I'm reading it, and not only is it sitting on my bed and I see the book cover all of the time, but I'm spending every single night before I go to bed 10 minutes with that author. And what has that led to? Well, not only now am I like, oh, I've never heard of this person before. Now I know who this person is. Not only like, oh, this person's pretty legit, but now I'm starting to figure out what is the next course of action that I need to take because he has written the book that I'm currently reading. So now I'm following him on social. I'm checking out to see if he has a podcast. I'm saying what types of products or people is he recommending? Because all of those things now are going to influence my decision. And when you can build trust with your audience, what that does is it creates a loyalty in your audience. And that loyalty from your audience is what helps them make the next decision. And that's what we're trying to do with our book. The second reason that a book needs to be a priority if you are a coach is it will catapult you over your competitors with a differentiator. So this is critical because what happens here is you help make purchasing decisions easier. So a lot of times when people go to buy something, they want to analyze all of their options. Now, if you are in a field or an industry where there is high competition, and many industries have more competition now than ever before because of COVID, the Great Resignation, a lot of people trying to start an online business. You need to figure out a way to get in front of people faster. You need to figure out a way to show people that you are better, you are different than your competitors. And the book is the way that you do this. So when you have a book, not only does it give you a perception that you are more of an expert, that you're more of a thought leader than your competitors, but what it also does is it saves you time to achieve success. So let's give an example here of this. Oftentimes, when people build a coaching business, they want to get to that first six-figure mark. They want to get to 10K a month, and then they want to continue to build it further and further. Maybe they get to 50K a month, they want to get to 100K, right? There's always that next level. Well, when you're first starting, everybody is a new coach. You may have a couple clients, you may have helped people in your past, you may be coming from a different field. Everybody has enough knowledge to help somebody else. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a coach. But where you're able to stand out and achieve great success fast is when you have something that makes the potential prospect or the potential customer see you as their answer faster. And having a book gives you a chance to do this. So instead of spending a year trying to show people that you're the right person, trying to find a way to get on a podcast, trying to find a way to be seen as legit, you have a book, and now within months, you are now in the upper echelon of people and how they perceive you. So think of it like this. A book is your fast pass at Disneyland to success. Simply put, you're going to have a great time at Disneyland. You're going to enjoy Splash Mountain. You're going to enjoy Space Mountain. But if you don't have a fast pass, you're going to spend maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours waiting in line. Are you still going to have a great time? Yes. But if you have a fast pass, now what you've been able to do is you've been able to get to all of these different rides, and you have time to do other things to create a better experience for yourself. This is the same thing that happens in your business. You can have success and do it without a book. And I want you to win. I want you to have great success. But what you can also do is you can have a book, and that is your fast pass. Now you're getting more clients. Now you have a book, you can get on more podcasts because you're seen as more credible. Oh, you have a book, now you can get paid speaking engagements. All of a sudden you've saved your time, gotten back your time, and your readers start to say, oh yeah, your prospects start to say, yeah, this person's the real deal. And so ultimately it impacts these purchasing decisions because not only does the perception of people of you change, you've now created a differentiator in your business. And if we look at the psychology of how people make decisions, Let's break it down. If you have two people to make a choice from, Johnny and Jimmy, and I say this all the time, and Johnny and Jimmy are on paper both really, really great. They've been doing it for the same amount of time, they have the same skill set, and you like them both. They're both nice guys. But if Johnny has a book on the topic, which person are you more likely to go to first? Which one are you going to start to weigh a little heavier? Almost everybody that I've ever asked this question to says the person that has a book in their eyes becomes a little bit more credible than the person who doesn't have a book, all things being equal. And that's what you're trying to do here, is as a coach in a highly competitive industry, we need to find a way to differentiate ourselves from our competitor. Having a book gives you the chance to catapult and rise the ranks faster and start to make your mark on society. So now the third reason that you need to have a book as a coach is that a book makes it easy to get in touch with your ideal partners. So what this does is this makes people see you as more legit. This allows you to borrow credibility. This allows you to get and improve your PR. And this allows you to build your brand, leveraging your book as the baseline for it. So when it comes to getting in touch with your ideal partners, why is this relevant? Well, one ideal partner can add $1,000 to your business, $50,000 to your business, $100,000 to your business. I've done partnerships with people, and the only way I was able to get in touch with them was because I had a book. They immediately saw me as someone that they need to take really, really seriously. I sent them a copy of my book. Then we did a partnership deal. They became a referral partner, and boom, thousands of dollars down the road. All right, even just a very recent example is the fact that I've written 3 of my own books. People perceive me as someone who knows how to write and launch a best-selling book, right? That's the name of the game. I have the experience, I have the expertise, and I have the books. I give my books away. People are like, oh, these books are really legit. Anyone who needs to write a book, I'm going to refer them to you, Jake. And so we literally have done thousands of dollars based on that. All because I was able to get in touch with my ideal partners because I had a book and they started to take me more seriously. All right. The second thing that is really important is when you get in touch with your ideal partners is having a book gives you an opportunity to get past the gatekeeper. We're all busy and we're all trying to figure out how do we value our time. And the more experience you have, the bigger your team gets, you recognize that time is the most important asset. So how do we value this? Well, we have screeners. There are a lot of times people at high levels that have assistants, executive assistants, chief of staffs, etc., that block or screen their emails from all of the garbage that gets sent. Well, you're no longer going to fall into the garbage category when you say, hey, I'd love to give a copy of my book to this person. Not only does that get you past the gatekeeper, but now you often get direct access. And if you give a copy of your book, you make a handwritten note, you make a great first impression, well, law of reciprocity is likely going to have that person respond back to you, giving you a chance to build that relationship. Not only that, but now your name becomes familiar. And here's something that's really important when you're trying to build new relationships, is you want to have frequency and recency. Frequency is how often is this person seeing your name? Recency is when was the last time this person is seeing your name? When you send somebody a book, that book for at least a week tends to get stuck on their desk or it gets read right away. Either way, for that week, they are seeing your name over and over and over again. They are also seeing your name within that time span. And that's when you're able to get in touch, start to really build this relationship. So this is a really, really powerful way to connect with people. I'll give you another example here. I've had people who ask to send me a copy of their book, and this is like the reverse. Instead of me sending them a book, I've had people say, hey, can I send you a book? Now, immediately what that does for me as the person here is I have my assistant. They say, yeah, Jake would love to do that. Here's where you can send it. So now they have a way of sending me a package. I receive that package and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is cool. Everyone loves to get a package, right? It feels like we're getting a present and everybody loves presents. I know for me on Hanukkah, I used to love getting all these presents, 8 crazy nights. I mean, come on. But they give you this. I get this package in the mail, so now I feel special. Sometimes they write a handwritten note and I'm like, oh, all right, this has got great rapport now. So now, not only am I more likely going to respond to whatever they email me next, but they're going to have a direct line. And I am likely going to say thank you. And that's something that I think a lot of people do is when you get a gift, you say thank you. That's what we were raised to do. So I actually say thank you to that person. And now we start to facilitate that conversation. I've had this happen time and time again, and some really great relationships have come out of that deal. Now, I love to make things fun. I like to add things and go above and beyond here for you guys. So we're going to add a bonus here on why, and one more reason on why a book should be a priority if you are a coach. One of the biggest things that coaches have problems with is their ability to get people to raise their hand to work with them. The challenge here is acquiring the lead, getting people to know what you have to offer, and getting people to say, yes, hey, I want to work with you. Please take my credit card. This is a big challenge. And here's how a book can immediately eliminate that. When you are writing your book, you will talk about your book, you will post about your book, you will share the process. You will have book content as well as journey content, both incredibly valuable and relevant to your reader, to your prospects in terms of getting to know you. And what happens here is when you give this content while you're writing the book, people start to raise their hand to work with you before this even happens. So we had a client who wanted to get more speaking gigs. She started talking about her book. She ended up booking a speaking engagement with some really top tier entrepreneurs and was able to sell her book at that event. We had another client who started talking about her book, and then when she launched it, not only did she hit #1 bestseller, but she was able to sign a high ticket client on opening week. When you have a book as a coach, it will help you in the lead phase, it'll help you in the conversion phase, and it'll help you in the actual delivery phase of getting someone a result. When you can combine all of these things, you become very good at this whole game of business. So those are some of the reasons that I believe a book must be a priority for every coach. And it gets you your time back, right? And if you go ahead and listen to a previous episode, you can see how a book actually saves you time. But for this episode, I want to recap here these 3 reasons why a book should be a priority for you as a coach. Number 1 is it builds trust with your audience. All right, this is basically your audience getting the fast track into your mind to see exactly what you're doing, which makes an audience feel loyal. If they like your book, they're going to want to take the next step. The second reason that a book should be a priority is it catapults you over your competitors and differentiators. A book is literally the fast pass to success. Look, I believe you could still succeed without it, but with it, you will have the fast pass to success. This gives people an opportunity to see you as the #1 choice rather than just a choice amongst 100 competitors. And then the third reason that it should be a priority is because a book is an easy way to get in touch with your ideal partners. And this allows you to be seen as more legit. It allows you to build relationships that can turn into tons of affiliate dollars and revenue streams. And it gets you a chance to really build relationships at a faster pace. So when it comes down to it, all right, let's boil it down. A book will save you time in the long run and it'll make you more money. So if you're interested in making more money and you're interested in saving yourself time so you can grow the business of your dreams, then we got to chat. Because I would love to help you take whatever you're currently teaching, whatever you've currently experienced, whatever you've currently learned, and help you turn that into something really spectacular that can change some freaking lives, folks. So if you're interested in this, head over and click the link down below. We're going to get this all synced up in the show notes, and we'll get you instant access to an on-demand training called How to Write and Launch a Best-Selling Book in 1 Hour a Day. All right, we'll link that below in the show notes. Go ahead and click that, and I'd love to see you on there. Love to chat with you more about your book idea. But there you have it, 3 reasons that a book should be a priority for you if you are a coach. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.